So that last run, I did get burned down. It wasn't intentional, and I knew there was a chance it could happen. I was actually racing a buddy, and he foot brakes. He doesn't have a trans brake, and it pushed him through the light. I was already up on the trans brake. It wasn't worth me coming off the trans brake, and transmission got a little hot. IATs got hot enough it started pulling timing, and that's why the car slowed down on that last run. ET was there. Mile an hour was not. I was expecting it to run in the 120s, probably about 125, but it just wasn't there. It was pulling either 3 or 4 degrees of timing pretty much all the way down the track, which is huge. I mean, it made my timing at 30 pounds go from 12 to 9, which is a huge difference. So I don't know if I've told anybody this on here, but over the winter I drained my radiator and put coolant in it, antifreeze I should say, and but something I had never dealt with before, something I didn't think about, was doing the air to water, and the air to water cracked. So I have since fixed that, and now it's back on the car, so the next time I go to the track I will have an intercooler. These past few times I have not had an intercooler. That in and of itself should make a pretty big difference. So I got to I just got to see what it's going to do. I also pulled the timing chain off, pulled the front of the motor apart and pulled the timing chain off, and advanced my cam 2 degrees to try to bring my power band down a little bit. The car wants to just rev through the moon, which it's supposed to. The cam is supposed to rev high, it's supposed to make power past 7,000, but I need it to make power a little lower, just because I'm having such a hard time getting the car to come over the hump, and until I get a dump valve put in the car. The converter's really tight, so I'll get that taken care of. I'll get the car making hopefully a little boost, a little faster on the 2-step. I've tested it at the house, but it's hard to test at the house. It seems to be better, but we'll see. But overall, the car is doing really well. I'm very happy with it. My second from last pass, I let out at 4.5 seconds. My boost cut was set at 28 pounds, and in the heat of the day it was only making about 27 pounds, so I wasn't all that worried about it. But it cooled down a little bit, and the car made a little over 28 pounds, and when it did, it hit boost cut, and I melted a piston down one time because the car laid over a little bit and I stayed in it, and when I did it before, I thought it was because it was hitting boost cut or something, but it wasn't. I had an injector hang up, and that's what it felt like happened again. The car was pulling really hard, and then just laid over. And when it laid over, I let out of it. And the car ended up running a 579 at only 108. So the car was on a pass on that run. My last run, I also didn't give it a bunch of time to cool down. I went back up there pretty quick, and then they had some dragsters in front of us, and I think it may have been somebody's first time running down the track, and he went through the light a few times, and it was just test and tune, so they were letting him back up and stuff. My car was idling the whole time. All of my other passes I made with the engine temp at the start of the burnout at 130. It was about 150 at the launch. That last run, it was 180 degrees leaving the line. So the engine was hotter. The transmission, I'm sure, was a lot hotter. The IATs, I know for sure, were hotter. So the car slowed down on the last run. Hopefully putting the air to water back on it is going to remedy that. Because it wasn't overheating by any means. It was just hotter. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are glad to see the car finally making some good passes, getting pretty quick. That first run scared me pretty bad. It went towards the wall pretty hard, and then when I got back in it, it went back towards the wall again, and I at first thought it broke the right side axle, but I didn't. The tire was just out of the groove, and the driver's side tire hooked up, passenger side tire did not, and it tried to spin the car around. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, and like, subscribe. My phone cut me off, but like, subscribe. I appreciate your support, and hopefully you keep watching. Thank you.